One of the foods I make all the time to stay absolutely shredded is bone broth, and I'm gonna show you how I make it. This Ninja right here, it's absolutely clutch and beats everything else because it's an air fryer and an Instapot, and it can slow cook. You see the air crisp. It can even bake, dude. As you can see, I got bones in here. And so what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna fill this up with water and I'm gonna throw in some apple cider vinegar. I'm only covering enough water to just cover the bones. Next thing I'm gonna do is put in apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna add some salt now, throw on the lid, make sure seal. So first thing I do is turn it on, pressure, go to an hour and 30 minutes, cool. And then once I hit start, it's gonna start circling right there until it gets to the desired pressure, and then it'll start the timer. All in all, it doesn't take that long, maybe 2 hours or so, but you have bone broth with collagen in it. And the other thing is you have tallow. So once I take the bone broth, I'm gonna put it in the fridge, and then the fat is gonna harden at the top, and that is perfect for cooking. It is so good. So all the ground beef and everything I eat, I cook with tallow. Probably the best oil or fat that you can cook with because it's coming from bones, bone marrow. Look at this. This bone broth looks fantastic. So on top here, tons of fat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these bones and I'm gonna throw them in the trash, and then I'll take the pot and I'll put it in the fridge, because what's gonna happen is all the fat's gonna become a layer, and that fat is actually beef tallow. So instead of buying it at the store, just made my own right here, and it's from organic grass-fed bones, so it's a great source of cooking fat. What I'll do after it cools down and the fat solidifies, I will take that fat and I'll remove it from there, because then all the rest, I'm just gonna sip on that bad boy and be sipping on collagen bone broth. What up, everybody? All right, just got out of church right now at Zoe Church in LA, and dude, one of the coolest things was like, we were talking about how to battle like a greedy spirit, and it's so good and important. Some of the stuff that I've been learning in my life is how do you flip a switch from negative thoughts to positive thoughts, because I've been learning about how your body on a cellular function, on a cellular level, it changes. Like the DNA is bound up when you have anxious, negative thoughts, and it can't express the cell or the genes full expression. And so hence like immune system goes down when you're negative. And if you want to be like, when you're in a grateful, positive mindset, that's where people are healed. That's where they experience healing. That's why Deepak Chopra talks about it. Joe Dispenza talks about it. All these people, I'm like, wow, pretty amazing. Greedy spirit, how to combat that? A spirit of generosity and a giving spirit. And anytime I was really giving in my life, I felt so happy and so content. And the other thing is like being content like also helps, like when you're thankful and you have a thankful mindset, you're not greedy. You're super thankful. You're not looking at things from a perspective of lacking. So you don't feel like, oh, I'm missing out on something, or I wish I had this, or I want this, I wish this was different. You're thankful in the current season. And then one of the things that kind of came to me was, there's all these Bible verses about God said he'll never leave us nor forsake us, and all we need is his presence and we need him. And then on top of that, like God blesses those that are generous, and he increases more that are generous. All right, let me see if I can pull up real quick in my notes here. Greed kills the good things God wants to do through my life. One of the things you can do is thank God for what I have. Thank God a generous spirit combats a greedy spirit. God is radically generous. Every day he has new mercy for us, forgiveness, and an abundance of blessings and plans for us. But when we're caught up in a greedy mindset, or a mindset that is lacking, then we're missing out on what God is giving. Our eyes aren't open to it, because all we're focusing on is what we lack. And where you focus, where your attention goes, the energy flows. We know that. Here's the other things I got written down. Generosity is the virtue of freely giving good things. How many people want to freely give good things out of the abundance of your heart? Well, we can look at like God's characteristics. He's radically generous. And the more I work on my spirituality and I'm pouring into myself spiritually, the more I'm going to become more generous. And that's more I'm going to become godlike. Like that's amazing. Like, I think everybody probably wants to be more generous in life, because out of generosity, you also end up receiving more, not only internally because you feel great about yourself, but also that's just the way that God made the universe, man. The more you give, the more that you end up also receiving in return. Here's the other thing. Proverbs 11:24, give freely and become more wealthy. All right, so here's the thing. All this, like, I mean, at least like on my feed and stuff that I consume on social media is all these ways to become like wealthy, like what you should be investing in, how you should budget, how to create businesses, how to make more money, and how to accumulate more things, right? Or like how to attract like a nicer car, a nicer apartment, a like, I don't know, smoking hot wife, or whatever it is. Like, you fill in the blank, right? One of the things that I think is so cool is how do you have the mindset, or switching the mindset, instead of like, how much money do I want to make this year? Or like, what do I want this year? Like material things. Maybe also saying like, flip it and saying, how much do I want to give this year? Because I have X amount, like I have a goal for how much I want to invest this year. I have a goal for how much I want to budget and allocate for medical, like for my body, for prosthetics, taking care of the temple, taking care of my body. And one of the things that I didn't really have or take in consideration is like, dude, I should set a goal of how can I give more this year than I gave last year. That's such a cool goal to have. And it just like, it kind of dawned on me. I'm like, man, that's super powerful. And here's the other thing, like if you want to give more, like you got to make more. And it's a cool way to flip it. Instead of focusing on just the making money part, you focus on, dude, I want to give more. Maybe, you know, and there's 3 ways to give. At least like that's what we went over in church, and I think these are great. Your time, your treasure, and your talents. These are 3 great ways to give. Your time is the most valuable resource. You can't get time back. You can get treasures and you can develop talents, but you can't get time back. So how can I give more time this year? How can I give more treasures, which is, you know, wealth, like giving to charities, whatever it is. And then how can I give my talents as well? And immediately like my wheels started turning of like, okay, donating more money, time, maybe mentoring younger athletes, younger people, disabled people, whatever it is. My talents, teaching amputees how to run, like helping disabled kids play sports. Like, dude, these are so cool, and it's already kind of in the works, and they're available to me here in LA. And I'm like, man, this makes life way more fulfilling. It makes it less about me, you know, and it makes it more about being of service to the people, making this world a better place. And I think that when you increase making the world a better place, you live better up here.